Live. I think we should. Yes, it's Friday. It's this time of the day where you and me are going to have a little coffee break and discuss everything Nikon. Shooting from home today. Hope you're all well. Doing this interesting setup at the moment. I've set up a Blackmagic camera that I have to live stream. So it's the first time, not sure if it's working okay. So tell me if the audio is okay, if the video is okay. It's a manual focus. I try to I'm alone, so I'm trying to focus it as close as possible on my mic. So hopefully I am nice and sharp here. But that allows me to have my camera in hands. So if you have any questions on the cameras, maybe I can go into the menus and things like this and answer your questions. If it's your first time here, it's this time of the day, as I say, that we all get together, all people in live chat, and we discuss everything Nikon. It could be news, it could be old equipment from centuries ago, not really, but and answer all your technical questions. My name is Konstantin, it's a Grace over Westminster channel. And I'm gonna read your comments now. Let's see who we have in the chat today. We have John Hughes, Rick Getty, Randall Brunder, David Mascoro, Older Higher Angler, Paul P, Richard Harland, Andy Hayter, Colin Brahma, Jakub. Fantastic, that's good. Jay Blue, Mike Reed, Dave Walker, I Don't Need Another Lens, Ray Bryden. Welcome everyone. Hope everyone is okay, doing well, enjoying your photography. It's surprisingly sunny today in England. That's why I just decided to take a day off. Why not? So enjoy. I've got quite a few days left, so I am working on things at home as well. But let's see. Tell me about the audio quality. Tell me about the video quality, and we'll proceed from there. Let's have a look. Hello. Not very sharp folks here in the USA. Good afternoon. Well, I focused on the mic here. It's technically, it's that's a 4. No, I think it's 4.8. So technically should cover me here, right? That's the thing. But it could be 1080p output, so it could be solved because of that. We can't do 4K live streaming at the moment, so it takes too much data, and the data is precious, as you know. Quick update on our internet situation in Westminster, Grays of Westminster. We found potentially a problem with all the buffering. So the way we try to stream is all tethered, right? So this cable is going through the old walls, and what happened was that cable died, basically, that goes through the walls. The servers are downstairs. It has to go to the second floor, effectively. So it seems to me that this cable that was going through the walls had been torn somewhere, and that was causing the bufferings, and it finally died. So that is that. So we are going to try to fix that. I think at the moment we're going to probably put a split on a different line and route it this way. Don't want to go too technical, but I know some of you enjoy that. But that is what's going to happen. So at the moment I'm living from, streaming from home, just to make sure that the live streams are going well. But hopefully that will answer that question. Hopefully the eventual buffering, will be okay. Let me quickly just go to our YouTube channel and just log into this live stream that I'm doing now and just check the video quality, make sure that everything is fine. So let's see, what are we streaming at? We got 1080p, yeah, 1080p at 60 frames per second. Okay, so all right, well, it's not too bad. It could be better. But we try to set up it the best possible way. So let's see your comments over here. If you have any questions, press put QQQ right at the front of the questions, so that way I can read your comments as well. Coffee Fund is open if it's that time of the day, especially if you are in the United States and you're having your morning coffee. Then cheers for that. It's my lunch coffee now, so it's the second one of the day. But you know what? I enjoy my coffees any time of the day of the year. So Rick Getty is saying, calling everyone else good morning, afternoon from Georgia in the States. Just picked up a Nikon AI 15mm 5.6. Nice. We'll use it on Nikon ZF and DF this weekend. Vintage lenses on digital. Love the look. Perfect combination. Absolutely. Obviously, ZF is going to be wired up to DF as a straight on. Love DF, but I do like my little camera here. Hello, Tilly. She's coming over here. So that's that. I'm gonna answer some questions from the comments that you put in our chat, in our previous videos. I know that we've published the Voigtlander 75 review very recently. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. It seems like it's got a really good feedback on this one. And the common question was, do those lenses actually work with Z-mount lenses? And the answer is yes, they do. They're specifically designed for Z-mount, which means, first of all, they have a Z mount, so they go on Z camera without any adapters. Second of all, they have all those little pins at the back, and that allows you to pass all the metadata into the camera, so like aperture settings, things like this. So all that is going to be recorded into your camera. All your focusing assist should work as well, so that helps as well. So effectively, it's a plug-and-play lens. Obviously, it's not an autofocus lens. It doesn't have built-in autofocus motor, but if you're happy to focus manually, it's going to be absolutely fine, because as simple as it gets, really. So one of the things we always mention on manual focus, on the manual focus features reviews, and we say that it may be difficult for some. The reason why we start to mention is because when we don't mention this, people say, oh, my focusing is wrong, things like that. When we start to mention it, people say, well, I'm not a dumb person, I know how to focus manually. So it's not a kind of a, it's a lose-lose situation for us. But we're going to mention it regardless. We're going to try to guide people who never use those lenses to, to understand that this might be a challenge, and you'll need some practice, if you see what I mean. But from that point of view is, obviously, if you know it, you know it. That's obviously a given, but we also have people who never tried those lenses watching us, and we kind of have to tell them about it. That's the thing. A lot of the things on YouTube is, sometimes we talk about things without explaining them because we assume you all know. And, like, we have a quite seasoned crowd here, but we also have new young viewers who need some assistance, and that's why we try to explain this. But yes, I did really enjoy this lens. I can tell you that. It's for me personally, I'm honestly in love with Voigtlander lenses. As someone said, that 40mm has spoiled me, and now I can't use any other lenses, and that's the thing. A lot of Nikon lenses, they're so good, they're so optically sharp, it's kind of, for me, becomes a little bit boring, if you see what I mean, because they're perfectly boringly good, and because they tick all the marks, and they compete with all the manufacturers like Sony and Canon, if you see what I mean. But overall, it just feels like that they all kind of produce the same image quality, if you see what I mean. So they're so good. That's kind of why this search for something different, if you see what I mean. And that's why we're coming to Voigtlander lens. So that's why we're looking at the vintage lenses, just to get something different. If you catch my drift, if you see what I mean. Okay, let's look at more of your comments here. Joe accuses me, it's probably to do with retro films that Ilford releases. In the times when I shot film, Ilford was the best for all things black and white, but that was 40 plus years ago. Well, Kodak and Ilford are probably the best in that respect. And in terms of this, I like Ilford because they're made in England, as simple as that. But I do like my Tri-X, not really keen on T-Max and Delta. They obviously have this, it's a more modern grain, that's the thing. But obviously very sharp and very nice films as well. But yeah, I do like my Tri-X and HP5, probably my kind of go-to black and white films. But I also do like a good FP4, especially on the medium format. I think for studio work, it's just beautiful. And again, large format. Things like this. For 35mm, I guess, we're in England, so ISO 100 film sometimes is not the most useful thing, unless you bring the tripod with you. Let's look at more of your questions. By the way, I do have a 51.4 lens, which me and Becky are going to review tomorrow. So I'm going to pass hello from all of you as usual. You can always say hi to her in the chat and I'll pass it on. But we're going to film a review on 51.4. So the 35.1.4 lens, that one has been reviewed, and that video will be out next week. It's scheduled. So it's done already. It's on YouTube. It's just scheduled to be released. I think either on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So that's there. But the one we're gonna try is 51.4, and I'm going to tell you all about it. I don't have any opinion on it yet, but tomorrow we're going to basically spend some time with it and going to tell you all about it. The funny thing is they look identical. So when I was rushing yesterday to get the lens with me, because we're filming on Saturday, so and I'm not in the shop today, I accidentally grabbed 35.1.4 instead of 51.4. So I had to go this morning and bring the 51.4 with me. All right, let's have a look at your questions. So David Mascor says, Con, renting a Z8 this weekend and photographing the blue angels from the top of Salesforce. Too bad for you not there. Thank you for taking me to Salesforce building. Me and my wife really enjoyed that. So it was nice, not just to meet your mates, your colleagues, but also, just, it was interesting to just kind of, the quick overview of the building, and that, now I understand that if you having a skyscraper, it's its own microcosm. So there's a lot of things going there, from temperature control to, to like electrics and things like that. So it was fun, and obviously the view was absolutely stunning. So I really enjoyed that day. So thanks for showing it to us. But Z8, I can tell you, is a fantastic camera. You can't go wrong with this. Obviously, these are ZF. For me personally, there's, obviously this Z9, which is a flagship. But if you're looking at smaller cameras, you're really looking at ZF, Z6 III, and Z8. And the answer here is, if you like retro ZF wet head, I know, David, you have one. Z6 III for more sports and action things. And Z8, technically, if you want to get the best camera that does it all, then get Z8, because even video there on 8K, and it's not 6K, let's say, compared to like something like Z6 III. But all beautiful cameras, you can't go wrong. I think Nikon has been knocking it out of the park recently, that's for sure. Okay, Daywalk says, greeting from sunny Chelmsford. Frustrating being trapped in my home office working when it's like this out. I know, I agree with you. I've been doing a bit of work from home today as well, and it's sometimes you just want to go for a walk. But Tilly went for a walk, I didn't. So she's enjoying now. She's just here, you can't see, she's just out of the frame, but she's looking out of the window. She's monitoring the squirrels trespassing on our garden. So if you hear her barking, that means that she's a border patrol and she's gonna chase them. Let's see, do we have more questions here? Hello, Lucas. Good to see you. Will from Rick is in the chat as well. Nigel Saturn, Nick, we haven't seen Nick for quite some time. Hello, everyone from Ireland. Brilliant. Dave Walker, brilliant. I mean, I'm gonna pass John. Yes, definitely. So your hello to Becky as well. We're gonna review a S7 Artisan macro lens as well tomorrow. That's in the plans. From the future things, we might review a new brand lens that we haven't reviewed yet. So that's on the way to us. We are looking forward to review a Tamron lens. If you have any suggestions for anything else for us to review, what we can get access to, because obviously, we're not going to get branded. Like, if we can get them, send us the equipment to try, we will. But if not. Like, let's say we don't have access to too much wheel truck stuff. I think we've tested 1 or 2 lenses so far. But any suggestions for the future videos, do let us know. We don't have a lot of time to film those videos, so we are not able to shoot a very long video, so it's normally within 10 minutes. But something that you may find interesting, do let me know in the comments below. Mizi says, I just sold my Z6 II and 24-70 f4 lens on eBay today, Con. Fantastic, good time. And the eBay, at least in UK, they've cancelled the, I think, sales fees for private buyers. So it's a good time to sell things on eBay, that's for sure. Don't know how it works, haven't tried yet. I do need to sell some of my equipment. It's been piling up as well. I think, it's a good time. Hopefully you got a good price in there. Scott Scufari says, just picked up my 51.2 and 85 1.2 like new for total 3,000. Scott, you got a bargain, I can tell you that, because, I mean, what, 1500 for each lens is fantastic. 8512, whew. Yeah, it's gonna go. It's definitely gonna be in my back eventually. Not spending more money right now, but hopefully, yeah, waiting for those deals. I'm sure we're gonna see some deals from Nikon before the end of the year. They do those winter savings every now and then. So hopefully, in the next few weeks, we will see something like this. Speaking of which, if you're in UK and you want to buy Z6 II, ZF or Z8, there's enhanced part exchange available there. It's 270 on ZF, and I think on Z8 and ZF and Z6 III is 180 pounds towards the purchase of your camera. So that's quite good, I think. Let me see. I think there was a £10 off Nikon On subscription. That's in the chat. So if you want to subscribe to Nikon On magazine, so just check the description under this live stream. It is right there. Hit the like button. Absolutely. There's a Koffee fund is open. The usual stuff. Cyrus is saying, I am using Hasselblad manual focus lens on Nikon Z in manual mode. Results are unbelievable. Full frame is cropping the sharpest part of image circle. Let's talk about this. Well, I am very very jealous because Hasselblad lenses are fantastic. As full frame lenses on DX cameras, yes, you are getting the best of the full frame because effectively you are shooting in the center of the lens. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Nikon Z, according to many photographers, and if you look at the forums, is considered to be probably the best camera, the best system for adapting third-party lenses, because the mount itself is very large and there's so many adapters available. It's absolutely incredible to have. So you can put your medium format lens from Hasselblad to Mamiya's, even Mamiya 7, there's adapters available. So there's pretty much adapter for everything, which is really good. I think the second one down is GFX system. Now, GFX system is a small medium format, as we call it. For digital, is a normal medium format. In here, we have kind of an opposite situation. When we try to put full frame lenses, or 35mm frame lenses, 35mm frame, 35mm lenses on the camera, then a lot of lenses will cover a 33x44 medium format sensor of GFX. However, we're not getting the best of that lens because effectively we're now getting all those edges which are generally cropped out by 35mm frame or 35mm sensor, full frame sensor. Therefore, you get a lot more softness in the corners and vignetting. That's the thing. But again, it may create an interesting effect as well. I can tell you that I used my 85 1.4G on GFX with nice results because you get it's not 85mm. You get a, what is the equivalent of, something like 60? I'm not 100% sure now. But yeah, it's a shorter focal distance, but the bokeh is nice. So yeah, I absolutely agree. I think if you got Nikon Z camera and you want to try all those nice different lenses, it's the way to go. And those adapters are generally not that expensive. Let's go through the chart and see what's in there. Rigate, can't wait for our review of 51.4. Yeah, I am looking forward to this. What I can tell you that, yeah, it's one of those lenses that people kind of got already 50. So we have interest in our shop, but it's not, let's say people are not as excited about this lens compared to, let's say, even 35 1.4. But I think it's one of those kind of a sleeper hits for Nikon, so I think it will pick up, and the price is reasonable as well. That's the thing. If you're looking at 50 now, you're really going to ask yourself, well, do I go for 51.8 or do I go for 51.4? Because the price is very comparable. Obviously, one says S lens, but if you're buying a new glass, would you ask yourself, oh, what S stands for, and things like this. So it's an interesting one. I'm not sure. Mosam Hossein says, I'm looking for a 51.2 for street photography. What would you suggest? Well, I would suggest you a Nikon 51.2. If you're looking at manual focus, there's one too. If you're looking at autofocus, there's a big Z-mount 1.2 autofocus. It's good, it's fast autofocus, so you can use it for that if you want to. Again, shooting with the shallow depth field with manual focus is not easy for street photography, but you can. From third-party options, there's 50 F1 from Voigtlander, and it's a stunning lens. It's a manual focus lens, and it's not easy to shoot wide open at f1, but again, rendering is very good. That's the thing. I think I am kind of spoiled by Voigtlander lenses, and I do like them. That's the thing. So yeah, you've got options there. You've got options there for sure. If you want a smaller light, then probably 51.4 if you need a shallow depth of field. 51.4 for the size, it's a nice option, because 51.2, it's it's not twice the size, but it's 1.5 times bigger. All right, Mike Lee, review this funky new bellows for that mount. Could be interesting. Plus, you can show us you love macro. No, Mike Lee, I'm not gonna do that, but Becky will. The Novaflex macro bellows were with Becky for about a month, so she was doing an extensive testing. So overall, once she's happy with it, we will review this. We're waiting for kind of cold, rainy days so we can get to the studio and record the video here, because at the moment, while the days are nice and bright, we try to be outside to review the lenses. Once it all gets dark and gloomy, and in England, it's probably next 6 months, then we will film that review. So it's definitely in the works, and we're gonna film that. I can tell you that. Novaflex also has this really nice tripod system as well that we might look into. Who knows, but we will let you know. David has a question for me. Have you heard of a guy in the UK, goes by Miles, Expired Film Club on YouTube? He shoots professional soccer matches on film only. Good story on YouTube, how he got started. Yes, I know him for not in person, but for basic reasons of Instagram just is everywhere, and you get pushed this type of equipment, stories. Look, everyone is different. I do find it a little bit, to stand out on Instagram, we need to do something different than everyone else. I don't think that football matches with 35mm or medium format or large format cameras is a right way to shoot sports event nowadays, because in this case, digital is a lot more convenient. But obviously, I come from a position, if you enjoy what you're doing, I'm not the one who's going to tell that, oh, you can't do this or you can't do this. That's the thing. But on a personal level, no, I don't think I would shoot sports matches at a high frame rate, with equipment, with this type of equipment. Digital cameras are there for a reason. Something like Z8 or Z9 with a long autofocus lenses, just does the job. That's the thing. I spoke to Crystal Palace official photographer, Fresh, and he's been shooting Nikon for a very long time. He's went from D3s to Z9s now, and if you're a seasoned photographer, you can shoot anything with everything. That's the thing. But I think it's the sports events fast action, where the technology has improved so much, and you're going through so many images, as well as, again, you do it for fun, but if you talk about speed of things happening, generally you shoot, your stills during the event, and they are published during the event, during the match. That's the thing. Even with, let's say, best fast processing times the same day, your images are not going to be ready on time for that type of thing. Obviously, if you're building some sort of portfolio, well, it's an expensive way to build your portfolio. But that's the thing. Again, I love film. You know me. On a personal level, I do find it's, I wouldn't do this, let's say this, but everyone is different. That's the thing. You enjoy what you enjoy doing, and kudos for that. That's the thing. And obviously, he's got quite a massive following online, and it takes hard work to build. So, that's, so I respect that. Absolutely. Let's see. Ray Bryden says, I only had a few seconds to glance at it and tried to quick capture, but no great results. Hopefully capture more Aurora this weekend. Okay, I've missed Ray's previous message, so I have no idea what you're talking about, but don't worry, I'll get to it at some point. Let's see. John is shooting Hasselblad lenses and Hasselblad cameras. Well, good for you, John. Good for you. Hasselblads are good cameras and lenses, absolutely. Mizi has a question. How is the manual focus assist on Z8 Con? I'm very tempted with Voigtlander 40mm after seeing your review last year. Should I get my Z8 in the post next week? You should get your Z8 in the post, absolutely. Manual focus assist is fine. The way I haven't used Z8 with manual focus lenses because I got my ZF for this. But overall, if you are happy to not just rely on this little dot on the bottom corner, but if you're happy to assign your button to, let's say, like I have my zoom 100% zoom button assigned to OK button. So when I focus, then once I'm kind of, once I'm more or less in focus, I just press OK to, to zoom into 100%, to confirm that I'm sharp, press OK to zoom out, and I can recompose and shoot. So I would advise that with all Nikon cameras. That's the thing. So I would say overall, I wouldn't worry too much about the manual focus system and manual focus lens on Nikon Z8. It should be absolutely fine. I know that a lot of you are asking questions under our videos. My advice, and I think I'm going to write it, post it down on all those comments under our videos, that we have Friday 2:15. Come and ask us those questions. Unfortunately, we're not able. I just don't have enough time in the world to reply technical questions in the comments. It requires time writing. So overall, I would say if you have a technical question with regards to the videos we showed you, just come here in the chat. First of all, talk to people in the chat. They're all nice people. They're all very technical. So even if I can't answer those questions, they will. But if I can, I will as well. So that's a thing. So, but I think that's what I'm going to do now. From now on, all those questions we can answer, because I don't want to ignore it. We read all your comments, even the nasty ones. Unfortunately, you can't skip that. But I think that's going to be the standard answer to them, because we want to answer them. But I'd rather answer them in the chat here. Okay, like all things in photography, buy both 50 Z50, both 51.8s. Okay, I'm with you. Here we go. That's the thing. What I'm hoping for, William Kransky says, is an ultra-wide-angle lens to be able to capture the auroras. Well, at the moment, I think we all can agree that it's either Voigtlander or Nikon 21.8. I think Voigtlander is 16mm, and Nikon is 20mm 1.8. So those are kind of two lenses that are currently recommended if you need a wide aperture lenses and wide angle at the same time. Okay, question, is it true I need to put Z8 in sports mode in the menu and can just put it in the shutter mode and let it reap? Supposed to get quick lessons on it later. Don't have Z8 to answer your question right now. Technically, if you want to use mechanical shutter, you'll get a frame reduction. If you don't want to use, that's just silly. Sorry. Z8 don't have mechanical shutter. I haven't touched the data in a while. Generally, you get a good frame rate regardless. There is an autofocus setting there where you can choose focus priority or frame rate priority. Obviously, frame rate priority will give you the frame rate you've selected, and focus priority won't give you frame rate selected because it will make sure that subject is in focus before taking the shot. Those are the things in. But maybe I should get my Z8 for the next live stream and answer this question. Yes, sorry, we had a blown moment where I thought mechanical shutter. Sorry. Here we go. Michael Reed, want a wide-angle lens for my astrophotographer D70. Did they in between 1424 and third-party 1424 2.8 lenses? Well, that's the thing. A lot of people prefer to go wider than 2.8, so they would like to go to 1.4 to allow for more light, if you see what I mean. But I haven't used Sigma 1424. I've read that it's very good lens, but 1424 Nikon is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Lucas suggests Sigma R 20mm 1.4 lens as well, so that's a good good option as well. Sigma just started cashback on their lenses, so have a look at that as well. Hey Seth, how are you? Good to see you as well. You're not nice. Tell me all about it. Let's cheer you up in the chat. So what's going on? Let me know. Mizi says, I used a lot of manual focus lenses back in the early 2000s for my D80 and D700 and thoroughly enjoyed it, but this manual focus assist features in the mirrorless camera seems to be great. Yeah, that's the thing. You nowadays, like, once you omit the optical viewfinder, effectively electronic viewfinder, you can do all sorts of things with this. And like, I should film, so I do like my optical viewfinders or rangefinders, but electronic viewfinder, there's beauty of it. You can zoom in real quick, you can see your histogram, you can see all sorts of settings in there, so which is quite nice to have. So yes, they have improved quite a bit. And I was thinking the other day, and obviously, we talk about manual focus lenses a lot, but of course, it's nice to have manual focus. Yeah, it's nice to have autofocus lens as well, because when you're shooting professionally, you want to make sure that you have really fast and responsive experience. So maybe you don't have time to focus manually, things like this. And a lot of people say, well, with getting older, my eyes are not as good, and I can't trust them to measure the sharpness of the image. So like, it's nice to have autofocus lenses. So we're not advocating for shooting manual focus lenses, absolutely not. But we love them. That's all it is. But autofocus lenses are so great to have, and your experience becomes so seamless and so fast. Like, let's say this 28 is fantastic, and on camera like Nikon Z8, I can set it to full AF area, and face recognition, all sorts of recognition you want, and it will do the job really well. So that's the thing. But we do love our manual focus lenses. So I think there's a approach for both. So if you shoot it, like, again, you go through the comments and it's like people try to say, well, if you into manual focus lenses, you use against autofocus. No, they all coexist. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. And everyone chooses the equipment that encourages them to do more photography. I think that's the most important. Like, if it excites you to buy this lens from 1930s or 40s, if that kind of excites you to go out and take more pictures, then do that. And if you bought your latest, let's say 50.95 or let's say OH5 1.2, and it's and then you go and shoot with it for 3 months straight, then that it's a money well spent, in my opinion. All right, let's look at your comments. Give this stream like and subscribe and all this. I mean, it does help the channel. You know what it is. It's it does sound like a mantra, but it does help. That's the thing, because the way the algorithm works nowadays is if you hit that like button, it basically promotes to more people. So you want to help the channel, that's the way to do it, if you see what I mean. So that's that. Some people say, don't tell me that's in the comments. Look, I do a live stream. It takes an hour to talk. If I have some words that I repeat all the time, like a mantra, unfortunately, I can't self-control myself. So guys, when some people put comments like this, it's puzzling. You know what I mean? Like, I can say yada yada yada. That's just what it is. That's life. And if you can do better, then start your own live stream. See what you can do for a year, and then you tell me if it's easy or not to control what you say, if you see what I mean. So that's a little comment on that. It's just puzzling me when people say, well, Con, I love you to bits, but please don't say this. And, well, I can't control myself. It's 1 hour. It's not a pre-recorded video where we can edit all the bloopers out or something like this. That's just the nature of a live stream. All right, David Liu has a question for me. What's the proper focal length for dog portraits? Oof, that's a serious question. It requires a 1 hour live stream, I think. A friend asked me to do some shots of their dog in their house. Well, look, my advice there is really not, like, I would get a zoom lens for dogs and kids, okay? And for very simple reason, they run a lot. If you have a well-controlled dog that can pose and look into the camera, then you can take any prime lens that you want. But realistically speaking, what I did find that sometimes, 24-70 2.8, that's where I would just get this for indoors. You can probably go for 70-200, 2.8 for outdoors photography. So then you quickly zoom in and zoom out. 2.8 is good enough for outdoors to blur things. 2.8 for indoors, maybe not so much. And sometimes you need to shoot wide, but at the end of the day, it's more about capturing capturing the moment. That's the thing. Always advise as well that what I've noticed that photographing Tilly, she's a lot calmer after she had her walk. So you go for an hour, a walk with her, wear her out. Now she's nice and calm, and she can sit still for at least 1 minute. So that's good news. That's the thing. But a lot of those things is it's good to have an assistant for those. It's good to have someone who can keep the dog engaged, to sit in one place, maybe play some games, give the dog some treats. All this is quite useful. But otherwise, if you look at the portrait lenses, whatever is good for people is pretty much good for dogs. And I've got into dog photography since I've got Chile, and any lens will do the job, even 15mm 4.5 Voigtlander if it needs to be. All right, more questions. Hello, David. Thanks for joining us. Don't worry, you're never late. No one is late on this live stream. It's not a school. Let's have more questions. Craig C answer similarly to me. Depends on the size of the house and size of the dog. Headshot, full body, but generally same that you use for people. Exactly, absolutely. You see, we've got. I'm glad we've got. Everyone can help with answering the questions. Let's see. But yeah, H5 7200. Basically, those are good recommendations. I don't need another lens. Whatever you talk about, just keep talking. My pleasure, my pleasure. Can't be sitting here for 5 minutes without any, inner silence, because that's going to be awkward, isn't it? So we should try it one day. Let's see more of your questions. T.O. Lim says, can anyone repair stock shutter release for mid-1950 folding bellows, Agfa automatic 66 120mm film camera that works with air pressure through valves to activate the shutter speed automatically? Wow, okay, that's a very specific. Well, T.O. Lim, I think try PJ cameras. If you type in Papa John cameras, yeah. PJ cameras, see what they come, talk to them, see if they can fix it. Send in camera repairs in London. They may take the project. I'm not sure if it's going to be cheap. Talk to Pierrot at PPP Cameras. He generally takes on very interesting projects. I'm recommending UK because we based in UK. If you're based in the United States, then please chat help Tio Lim in the comments below. Who else is there? You can talk to Mr. Card as well. Maybe they can recommend someone. They don't do repairs, but I'm sure they probably will know someone. Just try different options, see if they can come up. Obviously, this is a very specific camera. It's probably, again, one of the things, if it's just a bellows repair is one thing, but if it's something else, more sophisticated, then it might be a little bit more complicated, but who knows? Let's look at more questions in the chat. Let me see. You see, that's where the awkward silence. Okay, here's Seth. I was looking for Seth comments. What he says: hanging in there, just beyond hectic, busy time of the year, and a lot of releases coming from everyone. Well, here you have it, folks. Because, obviously, Seth does two jobs: being a real photographer, which not many of us do. The YouTubers. So he does the real job, but then also YouTube side of things takes a lot of time because you need to review those products. You need to tell all about this, and you try to not just have an ad, but you actually try to share your opinion about the equipment, and it takes time. But hang in there, Seth. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. We are in that time of the year. It's a final stretch, effectively. It's picking up now, and basically till about mid-January, it's going to be non-stop. So hopefully it's going to go quick, because normally when it's busy, things fly, reasonably quickly. So get in there. I'm sure that January comes, we're all going to be grasping for more things to come, and then we suddenly find ourselves in this situation where nothing's happening. So that's the thing. But when you're in that busy moment now, you are looking forward to this. Absolutely. When you're there, then you start to hope for the busy things, the more jobs, more releases to come in. I mean, that's our drive, isn't it? So Tom Lauder says, Videotrix also do an expensive 20mm 1.8 manual focus lens for Z8. It's a bit heavy, but you can use it for self-defense if someone tries to steal your camera. I had a chap, he was in London, he was 4 or 5 years ago, he's a bus driver. he was shooting with his, I think, D4 at the time, or D4S. So he got he basically someone tried to mug him, and he literally smugged that person with his D4. So yes, definitely can work as a weapon. That's for sure. Yeah, the stories you hear when you work in a camera shop, I can tell you this. Yeah, we could film a whole episode of Office, if you see what I mean, with all those stories. But maybe one day we will do this. Bree says the Rokinon 14mm is a good lens for wide-angle astrophotography. So you see, there's a lot more recommendations coming that way. Let's see more. Oh, Seth, I saw you add 55mm GFX lens into your kit. Tell me all about it, because you know it looks like a nice lens. You know, is it 55-1.2? I don't remember now, but looks like a nice lens. I've got the 65 1.4. What's the brand? It's a Chinese brand, which is similar to 105 Pentax lens. But that 55 GFX lens sounds really intriguing. Obviously, it has autofocus and it's shallow depth of field, and the rendering looks quite interesting. So definitely, I want to hear your opinion about this. It's on my horizon of things to add for sure. So Champagne Shots Photography says, I reckon that when I eventually get a faster wide angle for the likes of Aurora, I'll go 14-24 2.8, since it will be useful everywhere else too, whilst 21.8, despite being 1.8, would be awkward. Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you buy the lenses, if you think you're going to photograph, basically do astrophotography, photograph auroras, that's all you're going to do. Then you're going to buy a specific lens for it. But for a lot of us who may, decide, oh, I want to do this, but I'm going to do it once or twice, and then I'm not going to do it again, then yeah, get zoom, because then you can throw more things at it, if you see what I mean. Maybe it's not going to be a perfect choice for this specific need, but then it will be more versatile for some other things. So that's kind of where I'm coming from on the zoom lenses recommendations. And I think that's probably a good recommendation for everything. Let's say you shoot in mid-range, get 24-7 to 2.8. If you're not sure what you want to do, once you know what you want to shoot specifically, then you can get a specific prime lens to suit those needs. Let's look at more of your comments. So says the 51.7 GFX lens is nice. I'm glad I picked it up, but I'm yet to really use it. It's just sitting here looking at me with a smirk. Look, I'm waiting for them to go on sale. That's the thing. We have actually connected with Fuji, so I might actually speak to them directly. Who knows? But I do want that lens. I do want that one, and I do want their 80mm. So you know me, I like my portrait lenses. So that's the thing. But I've been using recently GFX a lot with for DSLR scanning actually, and my setup was GFX 100S. Pentax 645 adapter and the 200 Pentax macro lens, 645 lens. I think it's f2 or f4. And it's a brilliant lens to do your DSLR scanning, and you get 100 megapixel images. You can do pixel shift if you want to on those cameras, and it's, you don't get really more quality, but if you want to have a huge file, 400 megapixel file or whatever that is, then yeah, definitely you can do that. That's the thing. Fuji macro lenses didn't do well for the DSLR scanning. I even bought the extension tube, automatic extension tube, and tried different lenses. What I have, no, the sensor is sharp, the corners are soft. So yeah, the 200 Pentax lens is about 200 quid on eBay, and actually it did the job better than Fuji's for that type of shooting, really. So if you're into different macro, not DSLR scanning, then those macro lenses are very sharp and fantastic. Let's look at more of your questions. Ian White is saying, what's your view on Nikon F1635 f4G lens? Looking for a wide-angle lens. I think we did a review on it very early on in our channel, but it's a good lens. It's not as good as 14-24 2.8, but it's optically better than 17-35 2.8, which is a legendary lens. So it's optically better, and that's to do with the time that it's been released. 15 years after the 17-35 has been released. It's got vibration reduction, so as long as you don't need 2.8, it's a fantastic choice, and it's a good value for money, especially now But again, 1735 is a legendary lens. Though I do like my 1735. Well, I don't have it, but when I used it, I really enjoyed that. It's for me, it was a more a documentary lens, So I photographed quite a few protests, even like in New York as well. I photographed back in the day, 2004. I did the Republican convention protests in New York with that lens, and I really enjoyed this. Gave me a really good result on film. Stephen Miller says, I've been shooting Nikon for 35 years and recently got ZFC to test mirrorless. I'm amazed that Nikon has released so many lenses with 6.3 and even F8 has wide open aperture. I shoot sports. Well, it's easy to release those lenses, obviously, because, it's more expensive to release 1.4 lenses. What obviously, kind of what a lot of DX users come from is basically they want more wide aperture lenses and specifically wide aperture zooms designed for DX mount, and I understand that. I absolutely understand that. So hopefully we will see more releases like this. And also, if you look at third-party options for DX mounts, there are so many, and they are not expensive at all, and they have autofocus, which is incredible. Videotrox, TT Artisans, 7 Artisans, all the artisans in the world. I think Mikey as well. So many options there. It's incredible. So it's a those are good inexpensive options to have, in my opinion. Gary Murphy saying, booked on Showgirl shoot with Gavin Hoey and Fugi in February. Definitely going to try GFX. Gary, you enjoy it. GFX for me is what I use for portrait studio work. I do enjoy it. It's a great system. It's my low and slow, if you see what I mean. Z8 will be thrown at everything else but portraits. Z8 will be thrown at dog photography, kids photography. But if I can have someone steal, then GFX comes into this. That's the thing. I think they're good cameras, and I think they're definitely nicely priced compared to, let's say, Hasselblad equivalents, if you see what I mean. But that's not to do with Hasselblad. Hasselblad is also a very good medium format system. But I'm glad that Fuji does what Fuji does, and I'm glad that Fuji is not doing full frame. I think they've done really well in terms of separating two lines. One is DX effectively, and they went there before everyone else went there effectively, and then they went up a notch from full frame. That's the thing. They can't compete in terms of autofocus with Nikon, basically. They can't, let's be honest. But the sensors are very nice. The sensors are very nice. And, for me, I don't think I see myself upgrading this 100 megapixel sensor for a very long time. That's the thing. But who knows? Who knows? Says the 110 still just gorgeous, just wish it's focused closer. Yeah, I have 110 lens GFX. It's nice. 80 is a great lens for real. Yeah, that's the thing. I have 110. I feel like the reason why I didn't buy 80 is for a very simple reason that I have 60. I have 110, and I have the Metacon 65 millimeter 1.4, and that's the lens. The brand I was looking for. The Metacon for the money is amazing. Again, it's a manual focus lens. As long as you can focus it, you're going to be absolutely fine. You'll enjoy it. But yeah, this 50 and 80 mil from Fuji, those are intriguing. They are what I think are character lenses compared throughout all of them. Because 110, it's nice, but it's a modern rendering. Lucas says to Andy, I have 2 windows open, one with rolling ads and one with a second continuous stream, so I count as 2 viewers. Well done, Lucas. Yeah, I don't know what to do with ads. I've turned off putting the ads during the live stream because I didn't know they were doing this, and I turned this off. But then after the live stream, YouTube just puts all the ads they want, and then I have to remember to go in there and reduce the amount of ads to about 3. Because I think they put like 20 ads in there, and I don't like it. But I do have YouTube Premium subscription, so I never see ads on my stream. I consume a lot of YouTube, and therefore I don't like ads, so I think it's worth paying for, but everyone is different. Everyone is different. I do like that actually Google has cheap options in different countries. That's the thing. In UK, it's a bit more expensive. Everywhere else is a bit cheaper. Paul Howam says, what 50mm to go for with the Nikon F3? Well, Paul, you've got 51.8, you got 51.4, you got 51.2 from Nikon. All are very good lenses. You can go for pancake if you want a small lens. So you got 50, which is, it's not a pancake, but it is quite small, 51.8. You also have 51.8 normal size, which is a size of 51.4. All are very good lenses. You can't go wrong with them. I would look into your budget more than anything else. But yeah, 51.4, that's the one I personally like. But 51.8 is a very good lens for the money. Kiri was in chat. Good to see you. He says, agree with wide-angle zoom approach. I've been looking for 20mm prime and realized that I won't have much use for it. 14-24mm is way more expensive, but it's the way to go at the moment. Well, here you have it. I mean, that's the thing. Be flexible to what you want, and I think, you know, especially because, you know, lenses are expensive, you know, so, and sometimes we can't buy everything at the same time. So, you know, buy what you need right now, and then eventually your system will evolve. That's the thing. As with everything, we start with one, you know, if you like the hobby we do, you know, we start with something and we eventually upgrade to better things. Says I cancel out all mid-roll ads in my channel. I'd rather people stick around on my videos. Yeah, if you know, I try to see in there. So basically, anything I think under 8 minutes doesn't have ads, and a lot of our videos are under 8 minutes. It's the live stream that's you know, that it just puts everything on. So I just need to remember to cancel a bunch of things from there. That's the thing. Lucas suggests Brave. I assume it's a browser for free. So I guess. Well, look, whatever you guys do to get your content the way you do, that's entirely up to you. Exactly. So at the end of the day, what we do here, it really doesn't pay our bills, if you see what I mean. We are not, you know, we're not into million subscribers. So, you know, if you see what I mean. So whatever comes our way, well, that helps us to buy more things every now and then, which helps, and we appreciate it. I probably wouldn't have as many lenses as I have without the coffee funds and things like this. So, you know, but you know, it's not something that would allow us to do YouTube full time, if you see what I mean. So you have to be in much more subscriber territory, and to be in a more subscriber territory, first of all, you need to watch those videos, you need to like it, but in a way, I do find that sometimes the bigger you become, the more polite you have to be on certain things. You can't voice your opinion. And when I voice my opinion, I don't necessarily bash things. But if I don't like something, like this very simple example, like a Q3, yeah, like a Q system, as I say, great cameras, not for me. It doesn't mean I bash. You know, as I said, I'd rather buy like a M rangefinder camera, you know, than buying like a Q3, because I feel like this is a better value for money. When you're on a channel with millions of subscribers, you can't say this for a very simple reason. You're not gonna, you know, you work with them. That's the thing. So that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like of this whole idea of YouTube. You become basically a marketing channel at this point. Yeah, that's the thing. We always say don't bash anything. If you have criticism, try to justify it. But even personal opinion like this may affect if, let's say, a brand is going to approach you, if you see what I mean. And that's why, you know, you just have to restrict what you can say and what you can't say. That's the thing. I think it removes the honesty. Yes, it removes us being actually real people. And in my opinion, it's just, I hate being fake. That's for me. I hate when people sell to me, if you see what I mean. So, like, I'm being from, you know, coming from that, and that's why sometimes I feel like, yeah, there's no way I want to do this from that point of view, you know. If I don't like something, I'll tell you, but I'll also justify it, and I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just it doesn't fit me. That's the thing. Again, I know some of our people in the chat, you know, have like a Q3, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's the thing. It's a great camera, again. That's the thing. Absolutely not a problem. You know, when channels design the channels of being basically controversial, that's where the problem is, I think. When you come out and say, oh, Nikon is bad, oh, Sony is bad. Well, that's what I don't like, because that's bullying. That's not actually helping anything. But having constructive criticism and discussion is important. That's that's my thinking about it, and I'd rather be true to myself, if you see what I mean. That's the thing. Anyway, moving on from this, but you see what I mean? We're not doing this, then your channel is not growing as much as you want it to be, if you see what I mean. So I think we came to this point where we kind of accepted that we're not going to try to be something we are not. And if you like it and if you enjoy it, it's a nice, natural and steady growth. And that's the most important thing, because again, we enjoyed having you here on the channel. We enjoy that you enjoy our videos. We love it. I enjoy you being in the chat, and I think I'd rather have this than being a shield for something that I don't like personally. That's kind of, if you see what I mean. That's the thing. Well, see me next video sending some health supplements to you. Moving on from this. Okay, let's go to let's see what we have. We got about 5 minutes left, so I'm gonna go quickly through your comments here, and I'll try to answer the questions that you might have for me. So definitely do ask me if you can. Oracle Test Lab says, I absolutely like my Z8 and 16-50 and 50-50 kit lenses. I was amazed to find how sharp those kit lenses are. Excellent. I absolutely agree with you. We have to rethink kit lenses, I think, nowadays. Kit lenses during DSLR times weren't as great. And, well, I think the only kit lens on Z-mount I don't like is 24-50. It's a good lens for the size, not good lens for optical performance. But even in DSLR time, those 18-55 lenses, those plastic mount lenses that would be sold for £50 when you bought it with a camera, were absolutely fantastic. They were so sharp. And a lot of people say, well, should I buy this on 18-105? And I said, if you don't need longer range, get 18-55. And even if you break it, then you buy another one for 50 quid. That's what it is, you know. Thank you very much, Gary. I appreciate it. He says, like it the way it is, Con. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Randall, thank you very much as well. I'm on the fence about YouTube Premium. I have YouTube Premium. Again, everyone is different. That's the thing. I don't watch television. So that's kind of, YouTube kind of cancels out, and I don't like ads, if you see what I mean. But yeah, obviously everyone has, you can have some ad blockers, you can do all sorts of things. That's the thing. Whatever you can get the content is fine. I was just, I think I got tired of trying to battle it, you install an ad blocker and then 3 months later they updated YouTube and now it's not working again, and you need to find it, and you need to look for another ad blocker and things like this, so I kind of got tired of this, that's thing, and I was like, so I gave in, but I'm not going to be I'm not going to be recommending you do what you do. That's the thing. All right, so Champagne Sumo, hello Champagne Sumo. He says, seriously, I need to downsize. Anyone needs D850s, D500s and several F-mount lenses, well, reach out to Champagne Sumo. He has a fire sale. Everything must go. Is it a 90% discount of the original price? But anyway, you find out. Get in touch with Champagne Sumo. So Seth talks about Brave browser. Brave is great, but sometimes some sites have an issue with it, but overall it's like magic getting rid of garbage. Absolutely agree. Still on Safari. Still on Safari. No, it's not Safari, it's Chrome actually. I've got the ad blocker installed and does the job, I guess. So yeah, Champagne Sumo is in Florida, so you can reach out to him there as well. So here you have it, folks. Okay, let's see. There's more comments here. What did I miss? Kiryogoshko says, still, we can all admire charismatic salesperson. I believe they're not often be found, though. I guess. I mean, we do the reviews. Obviously, every now and then we get sent the lenses by other manufacturers. We review them. That's the thing. We don't sell them as a shop. But we tell you our opinion about this. So that's that, and we try to kind of set up pros and cons on what's good or what's bad about it, but it is what it is. Um, Thanks, Colin. Also, O2 Official 70, Olim says, for info. I'm located in Malaysia and I may have to send to UK. It's about the repair of the camera. Well, find out. Maybe someone local. Maybe someone is in Asia. Maybe, maybe Japan. Who knows? Find out. I think there's still people out there. There's just not many of them. And that's one of the things about, film photography. And I hope that kind of this this renaissance that we have, renaissance, whatever you want to call it, that people getting back to film photography. I hope that will bring to more people repairing those cameras, and hopefully young people would want to learn how to repair the camera. So that craft will be passed on. I'm glad that we now have more labs popping up. I'm glad we now have ECN2 development happening. I'm glad that there's more labs now starting to do E6s development, because E6 development turnover in UK is about 3-4 weeks at the moment. The reason for that being is just not many people shooting slide film. That's the thing. But it works both ways. So that's the thing. The more labs offering, the more hopefully the cheaper Ektachrome becomes, or Fuji becomes value improving in better supply. Hopefully we'll get those things in place as well. So I think it's kind of one hand feeds another one, if you see what I mean. All right, so Indicate says 18-200 VR kit lens is very good. I agree with you. It's a good all-rounder. There's also 18-300. Champagne Suma says QQQ, is film Leica preferred to digital Leica? For me, yes. I don't have digital Leica, but I do have Leica MP and Leica M4 something, M4P. So those two Leicas I've got, and they're beautiful cameras, and I love rangefinders. I'm a rangefinder person. Never knew that. You would ask me 3 years ago, I would never knew that. I can tell you that. Seth says, if you watch enough YouTube Premium, is way worth it. You'll save hours of your life and just get through the content to find helpful without interruptions while you are absorbing info. That's the thing. I watch a lot of YouTube content. There's not camera content. So that's the thing. In my other life, the photography, there's other things I'm interested in, and I'm watching videos on that. That's the thing, and lots of live streams. I don't want ads. That's the thing. But again, everyone is different. That's the thing. Is that 75mm Voigtlander lens 75 installed to test now? No. Gonzo, I'm afraid no, but it will be there on Monday. The demo lens is with me right now, but I will bring it with me on Monday. So from Monday, pop in anytime, it's there. So don't come in today, don't rush. We're closing in 2 hours, but from Monday it will be there in the morning, from 11 o'clock or so. Dave says, I watch more YouTube than anything else by far. Here we go. We got discussion on YouTube today. So God Premium as Robbie Matt. That's the thing. It's not like I wanted YouTube Premium because I want to support the corporation. No, I think it's just they make it impossible for you to to enjoy things. So you kind of have to pay for it. Just you choose the less evil. So that's the thing. It's obviously the problem is. You don't want to support Google, then I guess you shouldn't be using Gmail or whatever they own, or use, let's say, if your business use Google Ads and things. You don't want to support Meta, you shouldn't use WhatsApp, you shouldn't be on Instagram, you shouldn't use Facebook. That's the thing. The problem with this is, I guess, there's no way of getting it away fully. A friend of mine is not using anything Meta. She's texting me via text messages. It's great. The problem is I can't send her a picture. I can't send her a voicemail. Sometimes she doesn't check them for a couple of days. So that's the thing. That's the thing. But you choose what you want to do, and you limit your exposure to those things the way you do. That's the thing. I'm definitely not going to tell you all the advantages of big corporations. Absolutely not. Thank you, Gary. He says, I just made it low. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Gary. Thank you, and we appreciate you being in the chat. Let's put this heart button over here. Thank you, Randall, again. And he's asking me a question. Did you buy the family or single, and did you pay yearly for the premium? I paid yearly for me, but I think it's basically it's on my, for some reason, like when my wife when my wife logs in, into her computer, and once I logged in there, it's automatically gave her YouTube Premium as well. So I think it works. I don't know if it's a family thing or not, but yeah, somehow it works. Somehow it works. And let's say when I need to use Gray's channel from my computer, it automatically applies YouTube Premium from my computer because it's got my main account on there. So that's how it works. But I'm not sure this whole thing. Let's have more of your questions. We're going to be wrapping up soon, I think. Let's just see if I've missed anything. I like how we started with photography and then we talking about YouTube Premium, and YouTube personalities and things like this. I can see that a lot of it comes from YouTubers or influencers becomes it's not a positive term, if you see what I mean. So that's the thing, and it's so easy to put in the comments in the YouTube, say, oh, those YouTubers, but you are there, you are part of it. Won't call you part of the problem, but if you see what I mean, if you consume that media, it kind of works both ways. That's the thing. But I think it's an interesting discussion, and I think it's very important for to filter out, because as with everything, I think not 95% or whatever, 97% of what you see on YouTube is it's absolute rubbish in my opinion. That's the thing. So to find the content that suits you as a viewer, it's very important, and that's why you normally support those channels that you like. That's my opinion on that, and I definitely follow or subscribe to the channels that I really enjoy, and I generally watch those videos. That's the thing. All right. YouTube ads are when you make your cup of tea, Matley is saying. Good question. Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Yes. Yes. I haven't seen it, but it makes our cup of tea as well. That's the thing. Every now and then we've got, 300, 400 videos. So every month there's a little something coming from it. That's the thing. So it's not a big figure or anything like this. It's not enough to none of us, neither me or Becky, to go full time, or both of us especially. So that's the thing. But we get something there, and that helps with our addiction to photography. That's what it is. Andy H says, got cameras to website and ask there on their Discord channel. They have knowledge of people that fix old cameras. That's a good recommendation. Thank you very much, Andy. We appreciate it. Molden Knight says, do you ever lubricate, grease your film cameras or lenses, or do you have repair place to do it? Is there camera specific oil that is used? Lots of YouTube channels that cover that. You can definitely Google that. We use PJ Camera Repairs. We have a chap who used to be head of Nikon Greece, who looks after our Nikon film equipment as well. So yeah, you can generally, service like this is not very expensive. So the good news is not very often you will need to do this. But if you're buying a camera off eBay, first thing you want to check is the foams, the mirror, the foams around the mirror, the seals, and then you want to check all shutter speeds and make sure that your shutter speeds work the way they should be. You can install the shutter speed apps on your iPhone to measure for this as well. But generally, if you, let's say, shooting 250s of a second and it doesn't shoot 250s of a second, it shoots more like a third of a second, you'll know it. It's quite easy to spot. So all those things you can do for sure. If that's the case, if you find that's the problem, then definitely send it off. And obviously, like me, if you buy more advanced cameras. Your dog is telling you it's time to stop. I think it is time to stop as well. So I'm just going to quickly scroll down the chat. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you, Len. Appreciate it. Love the show. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Randall. Okay, more YouTube Premium discussion. Yes. David saying, how many cups of tea are you going to drink in, say, an hour? That's true. That's true. All sorts of things. Maybe do some sit-ups or push-ups during that. That's another thing. That's another way to stay fit. I need to do this for sure. Pascal has last question for this chart. Did you end up buying a Voigtlander 40mm? I'm very tempted by the lens, but not sure how it will work with manual focus. Haven't bought it yet, but do have a 40mm for FM3A. So I do have that. I don't shoot enough at this moment with the Nikon Z system because I would shoot 90% most of film photography. So that's why I don't have 40. But the moment the 40 1.2 Z-mount comes in secondhand to our shop, it's going to be mine. So that's what I can tell you. This is the lens that is absolutely incredible. That's the thing. Technically, I would say choose between 40-1.2 and 50-f1. I want both. They're both so good because 40-1.2 is probably the one you would use most of the time. But this 50-f1 is also magical. The 40-1.2 is also magical. So overall, I would say, you can't go wrong with this. You would enjoy it. But as you say, if you're not 100% sure that, that you're going to be okay with manual focus lenses, then maybe test it, come to the shop, try it out, see if you can borrow it for a day or so. That's always advice. But for me, I feel quite comfortable with manual focus lenses on my Z cameras, so overall I don't think it's going to be an issue. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It became a 1 hour 15 minutes live stream, which is always enjoyable. We're in a good company. So I wish you all well. Again, you know my message. Go, take your camera out for a walk. Yes, fire it up. Test how much focus. Those are like cars. They need to be used every now and then. But ideally, take some pictures. Maybe have a project plan. Maybe go do street photography. Hopefully the weather is nice where you are. I will see you next week. We're going to have a video out on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 35 1.4 review. I'm going to see Becky tomorrow. I'm going to say hello to her from all of you, and she always enjoys that. And I'll see you at the same time next Friday for another Q&A session. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below now or prepare them for the live chat. If you're watching one of our videos and you have technical questions, come back to this live stream and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you next week. All the best. Bye-bye.